You're listening to the Afterbuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the Afterbuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is Afterbuzz TV's The 100 After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's Afterbuzz TV's The 100 After Show.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the 100, episode 10, I Am Become Death. I'm your host, Chloe Onyx. You want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Tauri Miller. You know me, I know you. How's it going?
No intro music today, guys. We're keeping it very clean and cut today.
Yeah.
So let's just jump into it. There's a lot that happened this episode. What did
yeah.
you think of this episode? I mean, we're 10 deep now. I mean, like, we're getting close to the end.
Right. It was crazy. It was a lot of warfare that referenced older forms of warfare. So it was kind of odd. I feel like if I had read War and Peace, I'd be like, oh, that was page 12. That was page 30.
What do you mean old?
Because and to get we'll go into this at some point, but like the whole concept of the biological warfare of sending an innocuous item, in this case Murphy, and then having it be this thing that basically destroys that colony or whatever. For example, like back in the day when the settlers had sent the blankets with smallpox to the Native Americans, and just to kind of,
I didn't know that. That's like a good history 101 right there. I really didn't know that. All I know is the Native Americans were just dying because they weren't strong enough to survive.
Right.
I'm Native American. I can say that. I'm just saying. So let's jump backwards to the beginning, because that was very good, FYI. Good little history lesson, y'all. To the Exodus ship landing, crashing rather, and exploding.
Yeah.
And, the episode opens with that we see all the 100, or what's left of them, coming, and we see them on the ground where the ship had maybe exploded. It did explode, right?
Yeah, because it crashed and it was just a
like,
smoldering pile of metal.
That was so sad. And apparently there's no survivors. So what do you think about that? Like, if we backtrack to the last episode before this one, they went so hard to leave, and we're gonna make it down to Earth, and forget the Ark, and they did all this extraness, shutting people out and doing all this ridiculousness to get to Earth and die.
Well, I mean, I feel like to me it was the writers going, "Here's your just desserts. You did all that, and at the end you pay for it with death."
Alrighty then.
I mean,
that sums that up. Yeah, no, I mean, I thought it was, you did all that, and now everyone's gonna die on the Ark, including you. I'm just like, that kind of sucks. But I mean, it's an interesting catch, because I thought, or you know what, I really do think that someone is gonna eventually, a little later on, survive the crash and be like, oh, I've been here for like a month, and I don't know. This show is full of surprises. I think that's going to be one of them.
Yeah. This episode was kind of crazy in that, it was the first episode that was no Ark stuff. So we're still kind of left hanging, wondering what happened to all them.
That's true. Good. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. It's like all grounder situations. But yeah, so Jasper, we see that he's talking ish, as you're opening up, because he's considered like the folk hero, because he did his thing. And what did you think? Do you think Jasper is the folk hero?
No, I think that I get that he comes from this really nerdy background. Him and Monty were just
besties.
I mean, they were their only friends on the Ark, and so once you have this moment of glory, I mean, it super easily goes to your head.
Exactly.
I doubt that he was expecting it to go that way, you know?
Yeah, like Jasper the hero. And then shortly after Jasper is praising himself, we go outside camp and we see Murphy, who's like half dead. He's like looks crippled and deformed, and poor guy. He's just, I don't know whether to feel bad for him, for Murphy, or to be like, traitor, go away. And then we realize that Murphy's the one spreading sickness.
Right.
So, like, what did you take a lot from Murphy at that point? Because, I mean, there's a lot to say about Murphy in this episode. I thought he was a goner. Apparently not.
Right.
But how did you feel when you first saw Murphy there and he was just, like, dying outside of camp?
Well, in previous AfterBuzz episodes, I had stated that I was like, I was hoping he'd be the king of the grounders.
More than Bellamy?
Well, yeah. I mean, I wanted his reemergence to be like this rediscovered like savior to the grounders or whatever.
Okay.
But this was the complete opposite in that he was essentially tortured by the grounders, and he came back by their whimsy.
I know.
And I mean, I didn't trust him to begin with. I kind of expected him to be in on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found it so interesting that his cage was left open for him to escape. And the first place he would go is someplace that he's been exiled.
Yeah, right?
I'm like, yeah, if these people wanted to hang me and kill me, I would not want to go back there.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I would find a river. I don't know what I would do, but I wouldn't go somewhere I was exiled from.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense to me. And then we quickly learned that Murphy has this contagious virus. People are bleeding out their eyes.
Jeez.
They're throwing up blood. To me, I thought they were gonna all die. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard. I mean, of course, this is made up. It's not real life. But I've never heard of a virus that you're like bleeding out all your, pretty much vital organs through your mouth and you survive.
Yeah, that was, I feel like that's a little bit of writer magic where they're just like,
Close to death.
Close enough. Because, yeah, I would imagine that if you had a virus that was destroying your insides, you wouldn't recover in a day.
Exactly. Or in hours. Like, oh, I'm feeling better.
Yeah.
No, you need some blood because you've been throwing up blood all day.
Right?
Like, seriously? So yeah, you're right. It's a little bit of writer's magic, but they you ever heard the term "they're doing the most"?
I haven't.
You haven't?
Fill me in.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have a little class. The class right now. When someone is doing way too much, like over the top, we say you are doing the most, which is you're doing more than what is required. So there's like, more and then the most.
Right.
They're doing the most with this virus that's less than 24 hours where you can bleed out your eyes and your mouth and then start to get better.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, pound sign.
I like that phrase. Guys, make that a thing. Yeah, right?
Already.
Hashtag doing the most.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, hashtag doing the most on the 100. So moving along, we see Octavia. She comes into play where Clark is sick. Who else is sick? There's a few people that are sick because they realize they've all touched Murphy and now they have it. And they realize Octavia's touched Murphy. Of course, Bellamy's all up in arms. They go find her to bring her to the quarantined area. And Bellamy doesn't want her to be there at first. But then, of course, Clark goes, well, this will keep her from leaving the grounds. This will keep her in. And then as soon as Bellamy leaves, she goes, I need you to leave. I need you to go get a cure from your boy Lincoln, who's so in love with you. We know he'll give you the cure.
Yeah.
And, of course, she leaves. And she goes, finds Lincoln. He tells her, sorry, there's no cure. That's why I left the flower. Didn't you get the hint?
Right.
And she's like, no, I didn't. Sorry. So they plan to leave together. And it's like, what do you think of their little nostalgic love story? I find it so interesting.
I feel like in my mind as I'm watching it, I'm like, it's supposed to be kind of like a Pocahontas-y kind of thing where she's John Smith and he's
Pocahontas. I know.
But then at the end of the day, and I think I said this while we were watching it, but I'm still creeped out by like how the age difference between the two of them.
How old? I mean, let's okay. YouTubers, because they've been calling you out.
Oh yeah.
They've been calling you out on how I really don't know how old he is. I want to hear what you guys think. How old he is. So yeah, of course, keep commenting, like us, tell us what you want us to talk about or questions you have for us to ask here. But yeah, let me know how old you think Lincoln is. I would think. Okay, if Octavia is 16, we're gonna say
16 or 17, yeah.
I think that maybe Lincoln is 24, 25.
24, 25?
Yeah, I mean, in American today, 2014, that is like gross.
Right.
You know, like if we seen a 25-year-old man with a 16-year-old girl, we're like, oh my God, statutory rape.
Right.
But this is like a whole different time, place, space kind of thing. So, I mean,
Right.
how old do you think he is?
I had thought that I would think, and maybe it's because of his like rippling muscles, but I thought that he was probably either late 20s, early 30s.
See, but I know some like 23 and 4-year-olds that have rippling muscles.
That's true.
I'm just saying. I mean, I could be wrong. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, if you gotta wait till 30 to get some muscles.
Hey, it takes a long time to build a six-pack.
Oh, is that what you're working on right
yeah,
now?
totally.
Or do you have one? Do you want to show the viewers?
I'll show them when I'm 30.
Oh wow! Okay, bringing it back. All right. So yeah, let us know how old you think Lincoln is. I'm gonna go for 25, but he could be 30. So back at camp, we see Octavia comes back. And the love triangle still continues.
Oh,
Clark,
yeah.
Finn, and Raven. We see that Clark is sick, of course, and Finn jumps to go and grab her because she's about to fall to the floor.
Yeah.
And Raven's like, don't touch her. Literally, this is what she goes, do not touch her. And he touches her anyway.
Right.
He picks her up in his arms. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Raven's going to beat y'all ass. Like, this is over right now.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's like the buildup of, in my mind, it's complete disrespect. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't think he thought of it that way. I don't think he ever has seen it as like, oh, I'm disrespecting my girlfriend. I think he's just like, oh man, I super duper like Clark and I'm gonna do whatever I can to save her.
Okay, all right. Men of America, absolutely not. That's how you get. Okay, no, I'm gonna refrain from saying that. That's how you get in trouble. Let's just say that. I mean, what do you think if your girlfriend is telling you, do not help this girl because I told you don't help her, and you go to help her anyway? What are you gonna do?
Well, I personally would not because one, I don't want to die.
Ding. See, I was gonna say that word, but then I said maybe that's too much. So I was like, you will get in trouble. But
Yeah.
I really want to say she's gonna pop your ass with a gun, like to the side somewhere. But okay.
Well, I mean, he was kind of a fool to grab. He basically like rubbed her against his face just because like.
I know.
And
That's like when someone's married and you pick them up and you like carry them, whisk them away into the sunset.
yeah.
You don't do that in front of your girlfriend. I'm just saying. My boyfriend would get punched in the face.
Right, and
I'm
it was
gonna be real with y'all,
completely
America.
unnecessary.
Huh?
It was completely unnecessary.
Yeah, he could have just, like, come here, friend.
Yeah.
Let me put my arm around your shoulder to help you up. He did the full on, I'm going to pick you up and carry you to over the threshold.
Right.
I'm like, no.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just saying.
it was at this point where I realized how tired I am of the love triangle.
Yeah,
I was just like, I can't deal with any more like longing stares.
right?
You know?
Or I felt I feel like Raven's stares are like gonna burn a hole through Finn's head, like straight up. Like she's just like, there's only so much I'm gonna take. Like, I feel like every episode has been like, all right, you got one more time to try it. Like, he
Right.
keeps trying it. And I'm like, Raven is going to seriously either have a meltdown or do what she did at the end of this episode, but we'll get there. So we realize that only the strong can survive because at this point people have died, people are coughing up blood,
Right.
and some people like Octavia haven't even shown signs.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
all I seen was the old scratches from when she like tumbled down the hill and almost
Right.
died then. But like, she's like in the quarantine area helping people, touching people, all the stuff that like if you're obviously not strong, you
Yeah.
would have died already or been puking everywhere. She's not puked, she's not done anything. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's very interesting to see how this virus works.
Yeah. Well, I know that like when they were bringing Clark into the tent, she had made mention that she and Finn were probably immune.
Oh, why? I missed that. Fill me in.
Because when Lincoln was describing the virus to her,
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "Yeah, you know, it's just a fleeting virus to weaken, to essentially weaken the opposing team, and by team I mean army, because that's what they
the
are."
opposing trait. I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
And so essentially, he's like, "Yeah, I mean, all of the grounders are immune to it." And I guess there's a varying degree of how affected the 100 would be.
Yeah.
However, this is another thing that like I was thinking about while the whole virus thing was happening, is that these people, the 100, have lived in essentially recycled air for generations, not exposed to anything new in terms of viruses or flora, fauna, like any new nature beyond what came with them when all the original people arrived. So how is it that this is the first time anyone's getting sick by something that's on Earth?
Maybe because outer space air is different than Earth air. I don't know. I can't tell you, but I would think that it's just different.
Right.
You know, I don't know. I've only breathed. Yeah, breathed. That's the word,
Yeah.
right? I've only breathed the Earth air, so I cannot give you a comparison to what the galaxy air is like. You know, which one's better and less.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you can ask Clark
All
for
right, I
first-hand
will.
knowledge.
I'm gonna write everyone a strongly worded letter discussing how the body works and discussing
Interesting.
how.
After nuclear warfare.
Well, yes, of course.
Okay. So moving right along. So, okay, now Octavia came back. She warned everybody about the virus. She's letting them know that the grounders are coming.
Yeah.
And they're coming for blood. They're coming for war. And so they come up with this bright idea about blowing up the bridge Finn, this is Finn's bright idea to blow up the bridge to give them some more time because of course Finn's the big peacemaker. He doesn't want to blow up the bridge while they're on it to like kill them and you know, retaliate. He just wants to blow up the bridge to stop them.
Right.
I don't know what is in Finn's mind, but okay, Finn. So Bellamy, of course, being in charge and doing what he does, goes, all right, who's going to take the bomb? And everyone's in the tent. I think it's Finn.
It's Finn, Bellamy, and Raven.
And someone else. Wasn't there one more person? No?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Jasper
Okay,
wasn't
so
part of it
Phil,
yet.
Bellamy, and Raven, and Finn is just kind of like, doesn't say anything. Bellamy's like, well, who's going to take the bomb? And everyone's just like, doo-doo-doo.
Right.
And then he goes, I'll take it. You know, like, I mean, if it's between you and your girlfriend, you would think that you would say me, you know?
Right.
Like, I don't know. Maybe let me hear what you have to say about that.
Well, yes, but at the same time, it's like, hey, who wants to potentially die? But yes, if it came down to it and me and my girlfriend were fighting for who's going to take a bomb, I'd be like, yeah, I'll take that bullet.
After a moment, or would it would be instantaneous, like me?
I feel like it's definitely a human thing to be like, hey, is this a thing that I want to do?
Maybe not. Okay.
I think if we're talking about what I would do, I'd be like, send a sick person. They're expendable.
OMG. I wouldn't do that. They might not make it.
They have an escort.
Alrighty then. Moving right along. So, okay.
I'm a monster, guys.
So Finn says he'll take the bomb, and then while they're trying to rally up shooters and get their team together, Raven leaves. She takes the bomb. She leaves. We see that Bellamy gets sick, and so he can't shoot the bomb to blow it up to make it explode. So he picks Jasper, who's the only one who's not sick out of all the shooters. I don't know how that happened, but somehow, some way it happened. So Raven leaves by herself. Oh, we didn't even get to Murphy and Jasper and Monty fighting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they're besties. They're tech geeks, nerds, whatever. I don't know what the proper term is.
They're nerdy friends.
Nerdy friends.
Yeah.
And so Jasper gets into this huge fight with Monty about because he's feeling himself because he's what's the word, a folk hero and
Right.
all. I think that is so hilarious. And so Jasper leaves because he's the chosen one by
Right.
Bellamy, the leader, the Lord of the Flies. I like to call him myself. And they realize that Raven's left already.
Yeah.
So Jasper and Finn like take off in the middle of the night after her, to kind of like stop her because they don't want her to, be the one to plant the bomb.
Right. I mean, it's not something that she should be doing by herself. I mean, essentially, in taking the bomb by herself, she was sacrificing.
I know. She's such a good person.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been me, but she's a good person. So, Raven gets there, and now she's dripping blood from her nose.
Right.
She's sick. She could barely like keep her composure, and she's practically like the way the camera shows it is just so interesting because it's showing how she's like in and out of a daze and terrible. Could you plant a bomb when while you're throwing up blood and
I would do my best.
nose dripping and head hurting and
Right. I thought this scene was really like it was really well done, and I kind of felt bad for her in a way because I like at this point in time, I feel like she's already lost everything.
yeah.
So her sacrifice was like, well, I have nothing to lose at this point.
Why do you say that? What makes you say that right there?
Because I think she felt. I mean, as far as I can tell, it seemed like she already knew, like that she didn't have Finn's love. And she's said on multiple occasions, she's like, Finn is everything. He's the only thing that matters to her.
I mean, the rest of her family's gone.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's probably true, mostly.
So, I mean, I thought that it was more of like, and it makes it seem more sad than it is, but it was like hey, if my life is meaningless now, I might as well do something with
That's
it.
so sad. Like,
Yeah.
die for the people.
Right.
So she goes out there. She's on the bridge. She sets it all up, even though she's like dying. And Jasper and Finn make it there. They see her. They're yelling out to her to stop. We hear the war drums in the background, and I'm like, Suki, like it's about to go down. Like, is she gonna make it? Are they gonna kill her? Are they gonna blow her? Like, I'm thinking all this crazy stuff in my head as I'm watching it. And of course, we see Jasper, who can't make a shot to save his life, and we see Finn, who's running out to the bridge to get her and bring her, to safety. So finally, Finn gets her, picks her up, brings her back to like a hole so they don't explode. And we see Jasper take 3 and 4 shots and miss. Like, I mean, everyone's life depends on this bomb blowing up.
Right.
And you are just like shooting blanks. Like, what is going on?
Well, it didn't help. I'm sure he was like so nervous. It didn't help that like when he got this assignment, Bellamy on like 16 different occasions was like, "Hey, this all rides on you. You know that if you don't make the shot, everyone's gonna die."
It's
so
you.
I mean,
it's a lot
yeah.
of pressure, but a lot of pressure. You're supposed to rise to the occasion,
Right.
Not miss 4 times and then run out of bullets.
Right.
I was like, Jasper, get your life together right now. It's a wrap. And then it's so funny though that every time he makes a shot, the grounder's like, stop.
Right.
They're like, uh-oh, like, is someone going to shoot me? Like, it's so hilarious. So they stop like 5 times, the 5 times that he misses. And of course, it's so funny because Murphy, who Jasper was like, kicking out of his tent earlier in the episode, is like here to his rescue with an extra gun,
Right.
with extra bullets at a time where it just could have been all over.
Right.
So what did you think about that? What do you think about their friendship? The fact that Murphy just kind of was like, I'm still here for you, geek friend and all, even though you played me and kicked me out your tent.
From the very beginning, I was a big fan of the Jasper Monty like relationship. And I was so glad that he had this moment because you don't see a lot of them. Like you get a lot of Jasper, you get a lot of Clark, you get a lot of Bellamy, but like anytime he shows up, I'm just like, oh man, I love that guy. So I thought it was a really nice shining moment when he comes and he's like, "You got this, man."
Right?
Yeah.
Like rise to the occasion, folk hero.
Right.
It's so funny. So we see that finally, what is this, like the 7th or 8th shot?
Yeah.
7th or 8th shot. Jasper finally hits the X on the can. It blows up. The grounders are stopped. Everyone at camp is excited because they're like, yay, they did it. We didn't think they were going to do it, but they did it.
Right.
Yay. And everyone makes it back to camp. And then we see Octavia go back to meet Lincoln, the love of her life, who she's supposed to run away with. And she decides she's not going to run away with him.
Yeah.
What did you think about? I was so sad.
Yeah.
I was just like, but you had a chance to like get away from the craziness with the man you love. Girl, you've been living under a damn, what is that? The floor for 16 years. Like, go live life. Like, now you want to be like stuck in this war zone? I thought she was crazy.
Well, when Bellamy got sick, though, she started taking care of him. That was kind of like her way of reconciling everything.
That's true.
So, I mean, I kind of understood why she decided to stay.
Would
Though,
you have stayed? I would have been like, peace.
yes.
No, would you have stayed? Yeah.
I would have stayed, mostly because at that point, they would have spent their whole lives running. I mean, because
There was a clan east of the ocean that would have accepted them. Remember that? There's a clan east that passed over the sea. They'll accept that. I didn't miss that.
I missed it. All I heard was mountain people, and I was just like, I'm done. That's it. That's all I got.
No, they were supposed to run away, go east, cross the river or the oceans, and there's a clan there waiting that would accept them.
Ooh. That changes everything.
That changes everything. You see what I'm saying? I would have been like, deuces, I don't need this. Y'all are going to die anyway. I mean, let's be real. 14 died in this episode. Over the course of 10 episodes, about another 25 have died.
Right.
Like, come on, there's like maybe 30 or so have died. We're really rounding down to about 50 people left, half if not less.
Right.
And maybe half of that half is sick. I'm just saying. But yeah. So Octavia says these are her people. She's not going to leave. She's going to stay. And Lincoln is like sad. She goes to kiss him and he's just like, the cheek. Like, he gives him the cheek. And, she gives him back his drawings that she had kept with her. And, I guess that's the end of their little love thing going on. I hope he pops up later.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think he'll come back?
I don't know. We'll see. I know he's hurt. That's the only thing I could take from that. I was like, he's hurt. Like, he's like, come on, girl. I done saved your life and I love you and you're not going to leave with me.
Yeah.
So, boo to Octavia. That's how I feel.
I wanted him to join the 100. I mean, he's already a traitor, so why not just
That's
hang out
even worse.
Why?
Because be hated. First of all, those people hate you. Your own people think you're a traitor. So you're going to live somewhere where they hate you and they don't like you. Well, don't hate you hate you and don't like you are the same thing. But hate you, don't like you. They're going to think you're a traitor as well. And your people think you're a traitor. That's just not a good look for Lincoln. Lincoln, be out.
But at least he would have been with the woman that he loves. And eventually they probably could have come to trust him and he could have helped them defend themselves. I'm just, like, at this point in my life, am living in a fantasy world where everything is sunshine and lollipops. And I wanted him to join them and then trust him and everyone lives happily ever after.
Someone would have killed his ass in his sleep.
Probably.
So, Lincoln, be out. I mean, Octavia, what can you do? Maybe we'll see you together in a later episode.
Maybe.
So, let's go back to camp. We see that Raven is back inside the quarantine area because she's sick and Finn is there and Clark is there. Actually, Clark is closer to her than Finn is. I was like, okay, interesting. And Clark leaves the room. Raven wakes up. We see that Finn is more into Clark leaving, like watching her, than his own girlfriend.
Yeah.
And Raven calls Finn out. Thank you. Finally. I've been waiting every episode for this because she normally is just quiet and she watches. She might give you a funky stare, like I want to burn a hole through your forehead, but she's never called Finn out.
Yeah.
And this was the first time that we saw her, talk to Finn and say, hey, you didn't hesitate about, picking up Clark when she was sick and you could have died, but you hesitated about the bomb. And it's interesting because Finn kind of like barks on her a little, like, she goes, thank you for saving my life. And he's just more like, well, if you wouldn't have went out there, I wouldn't have had to save your life. Like,
Right.
I was like, he tried it on every level. Like, seriously? So he's a little tit for tat, and she's like, well, you hesitated. I had to do what I had to do. And he's like, well, my life was on the line. And she was like, well, when your life was on the line, you didn't know what disease Clark had. All you know is that she needed to be quarantined. You did not even flinch.
Right.
But you flinched over that bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, well, I love you. And she's like, no, sorry, too late. Here's your chain. It's over. You don't love me like you love Clark. And I was like, you know what? Good for you, Raven.
Yeah.
Good for you. Because most women, and I thought a lot in this episode, like, should she have stayed or should she, have tried to, like, just talk it through with him and,
Yeah.
But then I was like, you know what? Forget him. Be out. Deuces,
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like now it's going to switch up a little because I feel like Clark's not going to want to be with him and he's going to be chasing Raven down.
Right.
So, I don't know. And finally, whew, this was like a killer ending, literally. we see Murphy in the end, the guy who he was helping earlier in the episode who was throwing up and sick in the quarantine area. He takes a cloth and actually
He suffocates him.
he suffocates him.
Yeah.
He muffles him to death. Is that it, muffle?
Smothered.
Smothered him to death.
Yes.
Yeah. He smothers him to death. And I just thought, wow, interesting.
Yeah, it was super surprising because,
yeah.
like, the whole episode, Murphy was being
The part.
He was like super helpful, like asking and giving everyone water and taking care of the sick and everything. And then this one moment, he's hiding in the shadows, grabs his cloth, and then just kills this dude to death.
I know. And what makes it even more snakish is the guy was like, why are you helping me? I put that like noose around your neck to kill you. And
Yeah.
he's just like, oh, bygones.
Mhm.
Like to me. And then after he kills him, he's like, bygones. And I'm just like, yo, all right, so he's good. He's out for blood. Like that's just apparent. That's just what it is. He's out for blood.
Right.
I just didn't think he was going to be so snakish.
Yeah.
And of course, Clark is like, I believe in second chances. I'm just like, sugar is going to go down because Bellamy is like so against him being there.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to come for Clark because she's just being naive right now.
Right.
But I don't know. I think it's going to go down. So let's jump into some predictions
Heck
for
yeah.
next week.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Madam.
Yeah, okay. All right, me first. Yeah, I said a lot of my predictions already.
Oh, well, I can take the throne if you
No, hold on. I'll reiterate, but now in this portion segment. Okay, so I definitely think that Finn is going to now try to hit on Clark some more. Like, oh, I'm a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
I think Clark is going to be like, nope, I don't take second leftovers, like, I don't think so. And I really think that after that, he's going to try to make it right with Raven. And then I really don't know what Raven's going to say. She could be the strong, independent woman, or she could just go, all right, you're loving me the way I wanted to. I don't know.
No, she
So
better not take him back.
She better not, right?
Yeah.
Like Raven, don't do it, girl.
Yeah.
So I feel like that, and I definitely think that the Grounders are gonna kind of revamp their plan and come back for a little second helping, even though the first time wasn't a charm.
Right.
And what else? I think it's going to be really interesting next episode. Those
Yeah.
are my predictions. All right, what are yours?
I think that we're going to take a break from the ground. We're going to go back up to the Ark, see how everyone's doing there. Because, at this moment, as far as we know, everyone's dead.
Yeah.
And that kind of sucks, I'd say.
Oh.
Just a little bit.
I guess we just got to wait and see.
Yeah. And I think that Murphy is going to go on a killing spree. Everyone agrees. All you guys agree. You agree.
Well, write us on YouTube, listen on iTunes. Let us know what you want to see. Let us know what you want to hear. I already love all the comments you guys have given already.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty great.
So we definitely appreciate you. And thank you again for tuning in this week on The 100. This is episode 10. I'm your host, Chloe Onyx. You can find me on Instagram at Chloe Onyx and on Twitter at Chloe Onyx11. And where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Tauri J. That's TauriJay. I forgot how to spell my name. It's crazy.
It's one of those days. That's it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
All
That's
right.
the only place.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
See you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Afterbuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the Afterbuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterbuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of Afterbuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.